Jose Youngster of the MMAfighting.com speaking with UFC President Dana White here inside the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi now. Tomorrow night is obviously UFC 280, and a lot of people, they break down this fight in terms of stylistic matchups and this and that, but what do you think else is at stake besides the belt for both of these men? Charles is obviously... Michael Bisping did his podcast, and he says if Charles beats Islam, there is a legit debate that Charles is the greatest lightweight in UFC history, considering his wins over Tony, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, all in a row. And if he finishes Islam, is there a legitimate argument that Charles Oliveira is the greatest lightweight in UFC history?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%. And the only thing to do, the only way to settle it would be for Khabib to come out of retirement and then and fight Oliveira if that happens. So, yeah, let's hope we can make that happen.
And for Islam, at Media Day, he said what he wants to do is he wants to take this to the ground, and he specifically wants to finish Charles Oliveira on the ground because of the records that Charles had. So if Islam does do that, and finishes the man with all of the records, where does that put him in this lightweight pecking order of all time?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of smack talk out there about Islam, and he only got this thing because of Khabib and all that stuff, which isn't true. I mean, just... some things play out. You know, I wanted to see Makhachev versus Dariush. He breaks his ankle. There's just things that happen, and timing is everything. And there's no doubt that Islam deserves this fight. And if he wins and does what he says he wants to do, it's unbelievable, and nobody can deny it.
Alexander Volkanovski obviously weighed in as a backup. Is the plan still for him to fight the winner of the main event?
Don't know yet. We got to see what happens here, and you know, we'll figure that out later.
Did you hear Charles' pitch for Media Day? His plan is, if everything goes perfectly, he beats Islam on Saturday. He defends his lightweight title against Alex Volkanovski in January in Rio. And then February, he fights Alex Volkanovski in Perth for the featherweight title.
Interesting.
His original plan was January, November, and then he asked us, when is the Perth card? I said February. He goes, I can make featherweight by February.
I love guys that want to do that type of stuff and want to fight all the time. So if there's anything, you know, it's like, you know, Khamzat Chimaev was built here in Abu Dhabi on Fight Island. He started screaming after, I want to fight again next week. You know I love that shit. So, yeah, anything's possible.
And looking at the co-main event between Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw, I feel like we've been, since TJ's win over Corey Sandhagen, we had assumed he was next in line, but obviously had the knee surgery and stuff. What do you make of that matchup, just stylistically, between Aljamain Sterling, who, as he says, likes to backpack people, and TJ Dillashaw, who is one of the most dynamic strikers in the bantamweight history?
Yeah. I think this fight's going to all depend on what does Dillashaw have left. Sometimes guys show up when they've been off and dealt with, you know, controversy or whatever it might be, and you get old overnight. Is that the case with Dillashaw? If it's not the case, we're in for one hell of a fight.
And dropping down to that same division, the other bantamweight fight between Petr Yan and Sean O'Malley. Personally, 1 year ago this week when Petr Yan fought Corey Sandhagen, I thought that Petr Yan was the best bantamweight in the entire world. So in a 3-round fight against Sean O'Malley, this is a massive jump up. Like, I think he's like 12-14 fighting the number 2 guy. What do you make of this matchup between two of like the most unique characters in this division?
You weren't wrong about Yan. Yan lost the title with an illegal, you know what I mean? So I completely agree with you. This is a huge step up for O'Malley. The reason that O'Malley could win this fight is he has such heavy hands. I mean, when a guy punches like he punches, anything is possible. So I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. It's what makes this fight so fun.
Is Sean O'Malley the benchmark for the Contender Series winners? Because considering he won the first season to where he is now in terms of popularity, fighting the top guys at this level, at this stage of his career, is he kind of the baseline threshold for what the Contender Series could produce at this point?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, just if you watch any of the fights on the Contender Series, I mean, the guys that are coming off this show and girls are straight killers. So it's been fun. And it's obviously been very successful.
You also obviously announced another promotion you're doing, slap fighting. It was the Nevada State Athletic Commission even approved it. What is there going to be involvement in that? Is it going to be, are they going to give like medical suspensions for like injuries? Are they going to regulate it? Like what is their involvement?
It'll be regulated exactly like this sport is. You know, I saw a lot of the goofballs out there talking shit. Goofballs being media guys. You know, talking about, oh, what's next, mallets and stupid shit like that. The bottom line is, if you watch a boxing match, guys get hit with 300-400 punches in a fight. These guys are going to get hit with 3 slaps. So for these morons to be talking all the shit that they are about the athletic commission and stuff, the athletic commission did the right thing. So did we. We run toward regulation. We want to regulate the sport and make sure it's safe for everybody, because a lot of people are going to get involved in this, just like they did MMA. And what you want is you want to make sure that there's clear-cut, set rules. People have to take the proper medicals before, during, and after the fight to keep the thing safe. It should be regulated, and Nevada did the right thing. I applaud them, and that's why they're still the most respected athletic commission in the world.
What if a UFC fighter came up to you and said, "I want to try this out"?
Anybody can try it out. You can try it out if you want to. We're looking at that. I mean, MMA guys have reached out to me.
A couple other things outside of this fight card. Obviously, Hamzat Chimaev is in town. He was posting he was in Dubai, and now he's here on Yas Island. Is the plan to meet with him, maybe determine what weight class he might fight in next? I know he called out both middleweight and welterweight champions.
No, we already know what we're doing with him. He's here because he wants to watch the fights.
Did you see Mark Zuckerberg's VR presentation with what did you think of it?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, we've been into this ever since it was announced that the Metaverse was going to happen, and our motto at the UFC is be first. We like to be first on everything, so we're excited to do a fight in the Metaverse and figure out this whole virtual reality thing.
We're going to have slap fighting in the Metaverse?
Yeah, probably, yeah, eventually.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck to the rest of your team on Saturday. I appreciate you.
Likewise.